One simple thing this AI voice agent does could recover millions in revenue for businesses worldwide. It calls people instantly once they submit a form.
Hi, am I speaking with Chris Sanders?
Yes. Here is why this is crazy valuable for any business. If you wait more than 10 minutes to follow up with a new contact, your chance of making a sale almost drops to zero. The result, millions of small businesses lose $10,000 to $20,000 a month, simply because people weren't called right away. That's why I built this AI voice agent, because it makes sure that every person that submits a form is called instantly.
This is Alex. I saw you just submitted a form on our website about wanting to build a pool in your garden, and I wanted to reach out right away to learn more about what you're planning. Do you have a few minutes?
Yes?
Wonderful. I have a few quick questions to better understand your renovation project. To start, could you tell me more about what you're looking for regarding building a pool in your garden?
I need a pool where I can swim.
Thank you for clarifying. Have you worked with a contractor before, or would this be your first time handling a project like this?
It's the first time.
Thanks for letting me know. When are you hoping to have the renovation started?
Next Monday?
Got it. Aiming to start next Monday? What budget range did you have in mind for this project?
$10,000.
Perfect. I've saved all your information, Chris Sanders. Based on what you've shared, I think you'd really benefit from a consultation call with one of our renovations specialists. I can actually help you schedule that consultation right now. Would you be interested in booking a time?
Yes?
Let me check what times are available for a consultation in the next few days. I have the following times available on Monday, 9 a.m., 9:45 a.m. Which works best for you?
Monday, 9 a.m.
All set. You're booked for Monday at 9 a.m.
In this video, I'll show you exactly step by step how to build the basic version of this powerful AI voice agent. Because building the full professional version from scratch would be too long for one tutorial. If you want the pro version with all the advanced features like call tracking, automatic appointment booking, you can get the automation template of the pro version by clicking the second link below in the description of this video that you can directly import. It's way faster to set up that way. Make sure to stick around till the end, because I'll also reveal exactly how much running this AI voice agent costs you. You can get free access to this document that contains all the resources and prompts we'll be using for our setup by clicking the first link in the description below this video. The way our AI voice agent works is someone submits this form and then they are immediately called. Now, to set this up, this is a two-part process. First, we need an automation platform where we can set up the forms and also store the information that the user submits. We use a platform called n8n. Just click on Get Started, and then you can sign in for a 14-day free trial. And once you're in it, you will be directed to this dashboard. There you click on Create Workflow. Now here, in this, you can just add different modules here. So you could search, for example, for form. I use n8n form on form event. And then you have the first part of the system. And there you can just pick and choose different tools, put them together, and then you have an automated process. Now for us, we will start with the form. And this is always how it starts, with this trigger. So you need something to switch on the automation. And in this case, it's this form. So when someone submits it, the process will start and they will be called. Now the form title is just, may contact us, right? For example. And then we have the elements. This is where we can add questions. So what is your name? We make this a required field. Then we have, what is your email? Then we also want the phone number, because we want to call the person. What is your phone number? And I want to add, include your country code with the plus sign in front, because that's important, so that our voice agent can call the number. And then we have, okay, what's your reason for what's your reason for contacting us, right? What is your reason for contacting us? Also required field. Now that's it. So if I click on execute step, this is already loading our form. Now we can do a test. So I'll just fill it out So we have some data to work with. I use a real email address I use for testing. I put in my phone number. So don't call me here because it's a real phone number of my test phone. So I won't pick up anyway. But what's your reason for contacting us? This could be anything like related to the business, right? So for example, if I want to have a home renovation service that uses this lead calling function, then I could say, okay, what is the person usually requesting? Maybe I want to renovate my kitchen, for example. Then I click submit. And now you see this data that I have entered has arrived in my automation. So here, all these entries were saved. And now I can process them. Now I need to submit these to a tool that will then call this person with this number here, using the name and also understanding what the person wants. And that's what we will set up in the next step. And to do this, we will go to our document and go to this platform here, because that's a platform that allows you to set up voice agents that can call numbers and complete a few processes for you. And also we can connect it easily with this system here. So you can just sign in. Then you will get a trial account with some trial credits you can work with. And then here you click on create agent. And in this case, just click on voice agent, start from blank, click create. So we first set up this voice agent. We don't need a conversation flow agent. Okay, now I did. Here you click on create agent. We want to have a voice agent, a single prompt agent. Click create. There are a few settings we can adjust. Now here, this is the AI model that it uses to generate responses and understand the context. So GPT for one is good. I found it okay. Now here you can choose a voice based on what you would like the most. So you can type in, here we have types, an accent, gender. So I have this, I can listen to it here. And then I will use the voice when I find one I like. Here I set the language. Now comes the important part, is this here. I need to set the system prompt for it. So it needs to know, okay, what is its task? And in this case, I have this already here for you, the voice agent system instructions. So here we're basically telling it you are an AI-powered voice assistant for our company. Your role is to call people who submitted a form on our website, qualify them as potential leads by asking them a few questions and storing that information. Now this is just the style, like how should it react, how should it communicate and speak. This is the task breakdown. Now what's the process for it? First, right, the first thing it tells it, hey, hi, I'm speaking with. And then if the person is on the phone, yes, if not, is the person available? Like, can you get the person on the phone that filled out the form? And then we have the introduction. Great, this is Alex. I saw you submitted a form on our website about reason. This is where we will grab the data that we have gotten from our form and send it back so the voice agent knows, okay, this person wants to renovate the kitchen. And then here, we'll let the user response. Here, the next question would be, okay, can you tell me more about what you're looking for? What do you need help with? So these are questions you can customize to any business. So that's why they are formulated rather generic, but this is all for you to customize. Or you could add more questions. You can remove a question, like what's your timeline for the project? What's your budget range for renovating your kitchen, right? And then when it's closing here, after gathering information, perfect, I saved all the information, so it will save the information to a database for us so we can see like who submitted a form, who was called, and what did they respond during the call. So that's the minimum version of this that we will set up. Now in the pro version, I've also built in the tool to book appointments so that the voice agent can directly book appointments as well with people, like consultation appointments for renovating the kitchen or anything like that. So that's extremely useful to businesses because then they don't need to manually set appointments and they can convert more of these contacts into customers. So that's what we need to first grab. So grab the entire instructions here from the top to the bottom, and then paste them in here, and then click Save. Now here in the bottom, we select AI speaks first, because they will start the conversation. Now we are not done yet. Here we need to go to functions, and there we need to add the functions to end the call. So this is just the voice agent can end the call. So on itself, so when the conversation is ended, or it's all the information are gathered, it can end the call automatically. Then we also could have a call transfer, so you could put in a transfer number if the voice agent should be able to transfer it to a human person, if they have like special requests. I will leave it as it is. And then what we also want to do is we need to add a tool called Save Lead Data. Now this is what we will set up in the next step. So let's skip this for now, but keep it in mind. There's one more thing we need to set up here, so we don't forget it next. So this is where it basically saves the conversation and the responses the person gave the voice agent. For now, let's click Publish. Now let's connect it to our platform here, right? So to our automation platform. How would we do that? Well, first, there's one more step we need to do, and that's to get a phone number. We need to connect the phone number to it, so it has a number to call from. And there's different processes that are possible, and I've summed this up here in this document. There's the easiest version, that's what we're going to do. This is to buy a phone number, a US phone number, directly from this platform. So we can go to phone numbers, and I will show you how to do this. Here, buy a phone number. That's the easiest way. There are no technical steps involved. But it costs $2 a month, but it's really, really cheap. So if you're really serious about setting something up like this or learning to do this, this is the absolute shortcut. This will save you like 15 or even half an hour of setup, which are required for the other options. But it works only for US-based phone numbers. You can only buy a US phone number or from Canada. So it doesn't work outside the US. So sure, you could use an US phone number anywhere, but if you want a local number and to do it properly, I suggest if you're outside the US, I would still do this first, right, as a test setup to see how the system works. And then when you decide for yourself, okay, I want to set this up properly for my location, if it's outside the US, then you follow this guide. Outside the US production release setup. And I've already covered this in another video here, how I set this up. So you can follow that. And it's a little bit more technical, but you just need to follow the steps I've outlined. And there is also the free version, but this only works if you're based in the US, but it's also a little bit technical. It's not harder, it's just more steps involved. And also you can just follow the same video. But if we want the easiest, simplest, most direct version, and you can pay $2 just for testing it and to save you half an hour, then just follow along in this video. On the other case, just watch the other video first, and then you can just connect the phone number and then come back to the video here and continue, because the rest of the process is exactly the same. So what I will do, I will go to Retell, I will buy a phone number. And you can always cancel the number afterwards. So first, you need to add some credits or some billing information to Retell. So you go to billing and add your information here. And then go here, buy a phone number. I will just pick anyone here, maybe this number here. Click Save. And that's it. Now I can select the voice agent I have just built. Let's go back to my agent. And now it has attached a number, you see here. I will just click Publish one more time. The phone number is already connected, good. Now let's go to my platform here. Now what I need to add is an HTTP request node. So they call these modules nodes. But you can also call these modules. And we use HTTP request always when there is no direct integration with the software tool we want to use. So if I type in Retell, it doesn't exist. But if I would type in, for example, Gmail, they would have a direct integration, so I could just pick and choose. But it doesn't matter because it's also rather simple to set up at any other tool. So this is going to be my voice call tool, and you just follow the steps in my document. First, we need to switch this to post. Then we need a URL. So I've already prepared this for you. Where do we have it? Here, voice call. Authentication, we don't really need any. But we need headers. So we need headers. We need 2 headers. One is authorization. And then BIRA, and then comes your API key. And not here, here. Now we need to get your API key from Retell. So let's go back, go to settings, go to API keys. Just add a new key, API key. Just call it demo. The name doesn't really matter. Create. And then copy that key. Paste it in here. And next we need this content type. Application at JSON. Then we need to send body. Here we need to select JSON. And here using JSON. This is where we send the information that our agent needs to call. So I've prepared this for you here. However, there's a few variables we may need to adjust depending on our setup. So first switch to expressions. Now here we need to make it larger. Insert voice agent phone number. Okay. Let's go back here to phone numbers. Okay, let's copy that here. Add it here. Next, to number. Okay, the number, you see this is red, right? The value is red because we don't have the exact wording in our form. So that's why it has changed a little bit. So, but it doesn't matter because that allows me to show you, okay, where do you actually get these numbers? So if you set something up like this and I want the values from here, I just drag it in here. And then it's green and then it's good. You see the name is still green. Okay, we have the phone number again here. Then we have the email address. Drag it in. And when it's green, this means that this current node now has access to the data from the previous node. So now the calling agent will have all this information from this form that the user submitted. The reason for calling, I want to renovate my kitchen. Right here you see then the output. And now one more thing we need is the agent ID. So we go to agents again. This was our agent here. There on the top you have this agent ID. That's what we need. Good. And now this should be it. So if I execute it, I should be called. So let's see. There are no errors, so that's good. And here, I don't know if you can see it, but it's calling me. And if I pick it up.
Just submitted a form on our website about wanting to renovate your kitchen, and I wanted to reach out right away to learn more about what you're looking for. You have a few minutes.
See, it's called me, and it follows the exact steps of the conversation I have set in here. That's good. So the calling works. Now I just want to add one more module to store all the information from the form that was submitted. And I will use just a simple Google Sheet here. So search for sheets, Google Sheet. We want to add a row, append row in sheet. Now we need a Google Sheet. I've already prepared one for you. Let's go to the top here. Click on that link. Make a copy. And we want to change this name first. I call it setup demo 8.9. Now we want to connect it to the automation and save the data. So here first you need to go to create new credential and then sign in with the same Google account that you have here. So I have this one. Click on sign in with Google. Select the account I have. Continue. Good, it was successful. Now it should load this document, yes, and it should load the sheet. So call log, let's just hear this sheet here. And now I can save all the infos. Now at the replies, I don't want to save, but all the rest I want to save. Now here's the call ID. I want to save this because I need it in the next step. Then we have the call date. Now the call date, we just type in, make sure to switch this to expressions, 2 curly brackets, and then you would select now. This saves the current time. And this is just the information from the form. So the name, the email, phone number, and the reason for calling. And when I click execute, it should save that. Yeah, perfect. So let's go back, click save. Now this first part is set up. And there's one more thing. We need to set, that's to store the replies in this Google Sheet. Because I want to see, right, in here, what the voice agent captured as responses from this person. And let's go back to our agent, and there we go to functions again. Now we will add a custom function. You see here you have also the options to add new tools, check calendar, book appointment, and so on. And that's what I've set up in the Pro version. So I can also book appointments, check calendars for available times, and also saves call status. So it saves into the sheet, okay, how did the call go? So first, let's go in here. So after collecting the 4 qualifying responses, it should save the responses using this save data function. So that's already the name. So let's copy that. Click on custom function. Let's give this name, and the rest we will fill out from our document because I've already figured this out for you, how to do this properly. It saves all information. So this is where we tell the voice agent, here you have a new tool available. And this is what this tool can do. Now here, we need to add an API endpoint. Now this is very simple. So this is where we connect it to this tool. So we can then basically, the voice agent sends the responses that it has collected during the conversation through this tool or through this connection here in our workflow, and then we can save it in our Google Sheet. So click on add node, and what we need here is just a webhook. That's just a way to like catch information, like a hook. This sends the information and this catches the information. This webhook here needs to have post. Here we have respond using respond to webhook node that we will set up. Now first, what we will do, we use this test webhook that we use during the testing process, and once it's done, we use the other one. So let's just copy this, paste this in here. Then we need headers. So these are the similar headers, content type, and then application and JSON. And now we need to tell it, okay, what should it save? Like what should it send? What information should it send to my workflow? And I've already just outlined this here. Now I didn't write this code myself. I just asked ChatGPT to do this for me. So it should send the call ID so I can identify the caller, the phone number, the name again, and then a specific need, the situation, the timeline, the budget. So that's all the responses it has from these questions it had asked during the conversation. And I just paste this in here. And I switch this on here, speak after execution, this is left, and then click on save. And with that, this is set up. And what we need to do now, we need to first, so what we will add now is just another webhook, respond to webhook. And we just call it all incoming items. Now, before we can set up this final piece here, we need to trigger a call again. So a new entry, and then I will trigger this once the call is active, because this needs to be active during the call. So it will be triggered when the voice agent executes this custom function here to save all the info. And then we can set up the final part. So let's first trigger it again. So let's go in here, click execute step, just make up any name. I call it Diana Sanders, Diana@gmail.com. Now the only thing that needs to be correct is my phone number, so it can actually call me. So number, I want a pool in my garden. Click submit. Now I have the info. Now I can directly go to this, and now it will trigger that, and it will save a new entry, and it will call me. So
Hi, am I speaking with Diana Sanders?
Yes.
Great. This is Alex. I saw you just submitted a form on our website about wanting a pool in your garden, and I wanted to reach out right away to learn more about what you're looking for. Do you have a few minutes?
Yes.
Wonderful. I have a few quick questions to better understand how we can help you. To start, could you tell me more about what you're looking for regarding a pool in your garden?
I want a pool where I can swim.
I see, that makes sense. How are you currently handling this?
I don't know how to build a pool.
Thanks for sharing that. When are you hoping to have a solution in place?
Next month.
Perfect, thank you. What budget range did you have in mind for this?
$10,000.
Perfect, I've saved all your information. Someone from our team will reach out within 24 hours. Thank you for your time and have a great day.
Now you hear it. It even automatically ended the call, so this works. And now you have seen, like during the call, I triggered this, right? I clicked on the plus and then this was active. So it could listen to information and then it used the tool, and now all of this is available here. And now I can set this up. So I will just grab this, because the only thing left to do is to store this information in the sheet, in the same sheet here. So store info, and we need to change the operation to update row, because we want the information not to be in a new row, right? But in this row. So we want it to be here, saved, next to the new entry. So the document stays the same. The only thing we need to do is we need to have a column to match. And first we also need to update this here. And the column to match is, okay, it should look for this call ID. That's why we have saved the call ID. So let's go back. Where do we have it here? The call ID. So drag it in here. We don't need the date anymore, the name and all the other stuff. The reason, the row number, no, we only need the replies. Switch this to expression. Now here we have the replies. We just drag and drop all of them in here. So that's the specific need. Then we have the situation. Drag this in here. Then we have the timeline. And then we have the budget. And now let's execute it. Now if you go in here, you see the replies was saved to that. Perfect. Go back, click save, connect it here. And with that, like the setup of the system is complete. The only thing left to do, make a few small changes. I need to switch this to active. And then I need to change here the webhook, because we now have the production webhook. That's what we need for our tool. So I need to go to save lead data. You see here is still the test webhook. And I need to have the real webhook in here, the production webhook. Click on update. Also here, click on publish. Publish. And then you open the form, click production, and then you can just put this form, link this to your website. And then you have a form, someone submits the information, the phone number, and is called automatically. And all this information is saved in this Google Sheet. So you know exactly how the call went, what the person replied. Sure, there is the next level, right? That I've already built into the pro version of this automation, of this lead caller, and which is to also book appointments. You can connect other forms, like if you use other type form or whatever, it just switch out the beginning of it with the form tool, right? But I just use this n8n form because it's the easiest to set up. And with that, the setup is complete. Now let's talk about the cost. How much does it cost you to run this automated voice agent that calls everyone that submits a form on your website? And how much revenue could this bring you in additionally, or how much time could it save you per month? So this is the cost breakdown per minute of call. There's a different call elements. There's the voice aid, the voice engine, the LMN that generates the responses. There is the phone cost, right? So it comes down to around 0.2 cents, 20 cents a minute. And here for US, it could be cheaper. So there could be different price rating fees depending on your location. But I just used the German number, right? So it's a little bit on top end, right, of expense to show you how even that would be really profitable for anyone. Here you can set the call duration. So you find this cost breakdown here. You can set your own settings. So I assume, okay, it takes 3 minutes for an agent to run through all the questions and store the information. And there we have call volumes, like 50 calls a month, 100, 250, or 500. So if you have 100 calls a month, it costs us like for 3 minutes, and this rate's like this times 3, basically, in my German rate here. It costs me $64 for 100 calls. That's like 3 calls a day. And there is the benefit of it, right? $64, or even for 500 leads, like over $300, but it's still highly profitable for a business. So here you can set this calculator. So what's the average customer value of you? Like even if it's just like 500, click on calculate recovery. And there is this factor, right? If you wait more than 30 minutes until you call someone, they may no longer be on the phone, right? They may already be in the car or back to work or whatever, right? Busy with other things. And then it drops dramatically for you, first to reach the lead and also to convert them. And that's why here, this is what you could lose, right, per month. 3 to 6 leads a month if you have only 100 leads. So if you have like 500, for example, or let's make 300, that would be like 10 people submitting a website form. And this is how much you would lose. On the other hand, this is how much you could recover in revenue if you had the system in place that automatically calls the people and, more importantly, also books appointments with them. That's what we have in my pro version, because appointments, directly booking them, right? It's much more effective than just having them calling them, collecting information and not doing anything, and then have another person that needs to call them, get back again and make an appointment. Do it all in once. It's much more effective if your business depends on appointments that then convert to sales. You have saving staff costs, right? Because you don't need a human to do all these follow-up calls with all the people who submit the contact form, but it's automated, right? So it goes on top of that. And that's why the system is so profitable, especially if you have the appointment booking also in it. If you want to see more videos like this, where I build simple but powerful AI agents and automation, even as a total beginner, make sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my new videos.